Chelsea Rubel. Today is May 17th, and I'm going to be talking to you about the structures and functions of the endocrine system. So to start off, we will talk about the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is going to sit inferior, just below the hypothalamus through a small slender structure called the infundibulum. That's going to, basically the pituitary gland receives messages from the hypothalamus and then creates different types of hormones from both the anterior and posterior side of the pituitary gland. So that's going to talk about location, structure, and semi-function. So then you have the thyroid gland, which is located about right here. It's going to be inferior to the larynx and anterior to the trachea, I believe. The thyroid gland's function is going to be to produce T3 and T4 hormones. And that talks about its location as well. The structure, it's a butterfly-shaped structure that really wraps around the trachea. It has the parathyroid glands that kind of sit on the back of it, and it can be removed, both the left and right lobe. So that talks about structure, function, and location. So then you have your adrenal glands, which sit superior to your kidneys. Your adrenal glands function is going to be to produce a variety of different cortisol hormones, along with norepinephrine and epinephrine in different parts of that adrenal cortex or adrenal medulla. Again, that talks about the location. They're superior to the kidneys that sit directly on top of the kidney. So that's location and function. What else? I think that's it. Oh, and then the endocrine, the portion of the endocrine system on the pancreas. So the pancreas is going to be, the endocrine portion is going to be, I guess, a necessity to create glucagon and insulin. The endocrine portion is going to be where the isolates are, which are in the most distal end of the pancreas or the tail of the pancreas. So I believe that's all the function and structures that I needed to go over. Then when it comes to the connection between the hypothalamus and the hypophysis, which is actually another name for the pituitary gland. So basically the hypothalamus is going to get a neural response saying that some type of function or organ or system needs a hormone or is getting some type of reduction of hormone, and it needs something. So basically the hypothalamus sends a message to the pituitary gland in order for that pituitary gland to then receive that response, and then it can then create other hormones or send a response to other glands in the body to create those hormones. So it's basically like a one-way street down from the hypothalamus to the pituitary and then to the other glands or other systems in the body. So that's basically where the function comes together, I guess cohesively, is that one works with the other, and one cannot work without the other. Well, I guess it can work without the other, but seemingly they are cohesive together. How that falls into play with the primary, secondary, and tertiary responses and diseases would be if, say, the primary gland, like the thyroid, had an issue like hypothyroidism, a disease of the thyroid gland, where there was too much of that hormone being produced that causes sometimes like a decreased appetite in patients. It can cause them from getting like a goiter from hypothyroidism, which is an enlargement of that thyroid in this area. It causes the patients to be really skinny. Generally they have like a really cold, or their temperature is kind of off, their mood can be extremely fluctuating, and they can have like that anxious anxiety feeling. So say that you have a primary issue or primary response with your thyroid, then that response is going to be coming from directly from the thyroid. Then for a secondary, it would be that there's an issue with the response coming from the pituitary gland. So again, secondary would be an issue from the pituitary, or that secondary, not primary, but secondary, I guess, region. Then for tertiary, it would be it coming from the hypothalamus. So basically the most further away or unlikely portion where the issue would be coming from, that's where the tertiary part is gonna come into play. So I guess that kind of talks about, I hope, primary, secondary, and tertiary. It gave a disease, and I hope that's everything. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.